Hey guys, this video is for my people pleasers. So important for you to watch this, guys. You need to break that crap now. I have, over the last few weeks, been working with some serious type A people pleasers. And it's really crippling. Stop worrying about what other people think of you. Stop worrying or giving two craps about other people's opinions of you. Stop worrying if your friends think that you're a loser or if your friends think you're a success. It doesn't matter. You need to be your own best friend. I'm really, this is such an important video because this is literally causing our society to collapse. Do you think that the greatest people who've ever lived could care two fucks about what anyone else thought of them when Muhammad Ali said I was going to be the greatest fighter ever in the world? Or when, they started these beautiful big Hollywood companies in the 1920s and they said we're going to have these magnificent movies and we're going to have movie stars. Do you think they cared about what anyone thought of them? Do you think Steve Irwin, I'm just going to go through the list of some kind of really cool special people. Steve Irwin could care less about how anyone thought of him. He cared about Steve Irwin and about his passions. You're never going to be a success. You're always going to feel like a loser if you are worried about what other people think of you. You'll never have the love of your life. You'll never have real friendship. You just can't. You cannot possibly have real friends if you're concerned with really how they think of you. Okay? You'll never have a successful business. To an extent, you might be able to, if your people-pleasing skills allow you to kind of understand the market, that's one thing. But if you're, not coming from your heart space, you're not going to succeed. Please stop giving a fuck about other people's opinions. Stop. Okay? This is deep, deep, deep subconscious programming. Deep subconscious programming that you're under, that you have had since you were a child. For many of us, I have really great neighbors, right? And I have a wonderful group of kids in our neighborhood that I love. I love children and I love the children in our neighborhood. But I am very observant and I see in some of these parents that they jokingly make fun of their kids. They say, oh, you're so dumb, you're so ugly, you're stupid. And it's not like, you're a dumbass, blah, blah. It's not yelling at them. It's just a little oh, you dumbass. It's a slight whisper, right? Well, this is hypnosis. We are in a hypnotic state as children. When you are a child, you're in a hypnotic state, especially for the first 6 years. But, we become hypnotized by people in our lives, like our parents, and then everything they say is our truth, or their resonance is our truth. The way they vibrate toward us is our truth. If your parents never told you that you were beautiful, if your parents never told you that you were special, if your parents made fun of you because you were chubby, or because you weren't that smart at school, or whatever million reasons, or because you had an there's so many things that can be wrong with you. And oftentimes parents unwittingly, subconsciously program their children to feel like they're not really that special or good enough. And so they're constantly seeking out this outside love. I am trying to break the cycle. I had pretty good parents. They had a lot of issues and they screwed me up in a lot of ways, but they tried. At least now I'm at a place where I can observe where they screwed me up, where I had conditioning that wasn't my own, that was theirs, and I had to work through it. And that's what I do in my programs with my clients, is I help you break this subconscious programming. This is the crux of detox, of everything in life. The crux of healing is breaking the subconscious and realizing it's mostly not you. 95% of your thoughts and your behavior are not your own. Literally, 95% of what you do every day is based on what was put into you as a little kid as a child, from your aunts, uncles, parents, siblings, TV. This is the truth. So if you go around every day and throughout your life and everything you do has to be given approval by the people in your life, you're losing. You're losing. You're not winning. You're losing this game. You can't care less about what other people think of you. The key here is acknowledging the patterns, which I help you with in my group programming or with my one-on-one programming. Or, and when you do that, breaking down the subconscious, you also have to, start to love yourself. Love you. Love you. And whatever you're doing, do it because it feels good for you. It should not matter what anyone else thinks. This is why things like 90 Day Fiancé or, there's all these different shows on TV like Age Gap Love where people are doing things. Age Gap Love is a really good example where, because I'm in an age gap relationship, right? And because I don't give a fuck about what you think of me attitude. But I watched this show a couple times with my husband, we laughed because it's like you have this guy who is much older and this girl is like really beautiful and they're getting like so much judgment and criticism, but it's fascinating because they're happy. They're doing them, whatever they give each other, companionship, whatever it is, they're happy and they don't care about what society says. Society says, oh, you shouldn't be with someone who's older. You should be with someone who's your age. That's what's normal. If you don't do that, then you're not normal and you're not deserving of love. You're not deserving of acceptance. That's a societal programming. And if you take that on, then you'll just find someone who's like, well, society says that Jimmy is a perfect match because he's 1 year older than me and he has the degree and he's an accountant and it's like, but do you actually like Jimmy? Like, are you actually in love with him? What is about him that makes you turned on? Are you like aroused by him? Do you get you having fun with him? Maybe you are, but this is why you can't live by like the norms, what society wants for you, what people tell you to do, because you'll never be truly happy. You won't. And I mean, especially if you want to do something that's special. If you want to be special, which I 100,000% believe, and I get more and more angry every day. Not angry, but I get more and more fired up when I see, because I get messages from people, and sometimes I want to roll my eyes, but I have to address it, where they're like, I'm poor, help, how do I be not poor? Like, it's so hard. And I'm like, are you blind, crippled, or crazy? Because even if you are, you can go out there and do something with yourself. You're just too concerned with what other people think of you or think of your plan or your program or your project or your YouTube video. Every day I go on Instagram and I see more and more people with severe disabilities, with deformities, like, half their face is missing or their face is like all over the place, and they're over here crushing it, making freaking 6 figures plus on being themselves. They don't care what other people think of them, that they have this deformity or they have a disability or whatever. And so there's no excuse. Or my other favorite thing is my son watches YouTube, because we don't have cable, but I do allow him to watch some YouTube. And there's these kids in India who are like, probably dirt poor. They don't look like they have a lot going on. And they're over here like filling up, containers with baking soda and putting, baking soda and vinegar, and they, make a video of it, and it goes on YouTube, and they make something of themselves. They don't care. What's holding you back is not your finances. It's not that you have a fat ass. It's not that you're too this or too that or too much of the other thing. It's that you're worried about what other people think of you. And everything you do, everything you touch, you put that nasty negative energy into it, and it doesn't work. I don't have a lot of friends because I don't need my energy is so valuable and sacred to me that I don't want to just have people in my life for the sake of it. Like, if you don't contribute to my life in some way, like if I get off the phone with you and I feel drained, then I don't need that relationship. I'm not saying I'll never talk to that person again, I can't handle them. It's just, I separate my energy from that. Your people in your life should bring you joy and build you up. And I will say this. I was definitely struggled with wanting to be loved, feeling like I had to be a people pleaser so that people would love me, especially like I said with my parental stuff and traumas from childhood and whatever else. But the fact is, when I started to just love me and like care about me, and I told this story on Friday, I was at Rama, on Rama TV talking about eroticism for devotion and clitoral erection. It was really a great talk. I was on and I was saying how, you know, in 2015 I discovered makeup. And I had never worn makeup because it was actually a subconscious program from my father, who, my mother was a stunningly beautiful, gorgeous woman. She wore a lot of makeup, she did her hair, and it was her thing, but he constantly criticized her for it. Constantly told her, Ginger, you're taking too long, blah, blah, blah. He always had something to say. And he always would say to me, oh, women who wear makeup aren't smart. Like, if you're a smart woman, you go and get a degree, you don't need makeup. That's for, like, dumb girls. So I had all this subconscious programming, and one day I was sitting there, I was depressed, I was in my midst of my healing journey. 2015, my sister sent me a video of Patrick Starr, who is a heavyset Filipino boy, who's transformed himself from a heavyset Filipino boy into Beyonce Knowles. Into Beyonce Knowles. Do you think he gives a crap what other people think about him? No. And what I saw that day was this beautiful transformation. And I went to Sephora not long after. I watched a few more of his videos and I started like really taking in all these YouTube videos, particularly of men who I'm going to tell you right now are definitely not accepted, you know, mostly in this society. They're getting, like, they have their space, whatever. But, you know, they're over here making themselves look like stunning, beautiful women. And I went to Sephora, I bought some makeup, and I did my makeup, and it felt so good. And of course the first few times I did it, maybe even the first 6 months I did it, probably didn't always look that good. Like, I have some pictures from that era, from late 2015, early 2016, where I had, like, my eyeliner was, like, a little off, like, it was a little too Egyptian, like, there was a lot happening. But I was feeling good about it. I didn't care that it wasn't perfect. I felt good about it. I felt good about myself. I didn't care what anyone thought of me. And this has been my biggest reasons for succeeding with everything I touch, because I love me, and I do things from my heart center, and I do things because it makes me feel good, not because I'm worried about what other people think. My goal for this Instagram, for doing all these videos, and, you know, I'm expanding, I want to put these videos on YouTube, is to help other people like you with their healing journey. I want to help people to transform their lives. That's my why. It feels really good. When I have people come to me and after 3 months with me, they're a transformed person, they feel so different, they handle life in a different way, I feel great. And I get money for it. I can pay my rent, I can pay my mortgage and my bills, take care of myself and my son and my husband, and that feels good for me. And that's my reasoning. But I don't give a shit about people saying, well, I don't know that works. Is this your thing? Blah, 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 blah. I tried this. Do you think this? I don't care. I don't look. There's 1,000, 100 million people on Instagram, or hundreds of millions of people on Instagram. But in my Instagram, it's just me. I'm the only person that I'm worried about. I'm worried about what I'm doing, what I'm putting out, how I'm contributing, and that's it. That's it. And imagine if we all lived like that. If every one of us focused on our goals, on our heart, on what makes us feel good, and then see how the world starts to change. It's massive. It's massive. So if you're ready to change your psyche, if you're ready to do the work, because it's work, people, this isn't just, oh, like, do some fruit and get some herbs and, like, yay. No, we're doing soul work. We're doing soul work. And if you're ready, DM me, go to the link in my bio. We can, you know, I can read your eyes, see what's going on physically, and see how physically things are affecting you mentally. And during the program, as I said, we work on healing the subconscious, healing these programs that are not you. You are not that person. You are an infinite being of love and light and happiness. That's literally what you should be doing all day and every day and all night long, and just feeling really good. And if you're not doing that, then you have a lot of work to do. So it's time. It's 2021. We just went through the craziest year ever, like one of the craziest years ever. So it's now's the time for you to take back your life, take back control of yourself. Remember, your health is your wealth. No one else's opinion of you matters. Have a great night or day, whatever it is for you.